What is up, guys? I'm here with Charles Hackman from LetMeTalk. Charles, pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good stuff. Let's get this thing started. First of all, introduce yourself, who you are, what is it that you guys do at LetMeTalk?
So I'm Charles Hackman. I'm the CEO and co-founder at LetMeTalk. We help high-ticket coaches and consultants, specifically in the wealth space, build million-dollar businesses as fast as humanly possible using ads, customer acquisition systems, and sales teams.
Good stuff. So what's your guys' headcount? What's the revenue numbers you guys are doing?
So currently we're about at 152, 153, I think, if I check for August 2023. And our headcount is like 10 or 11 people. If you count like the VA setters and everything, maybe like 12 or 13, but headcount, like full-time salaries here in Montreal or David and Croatia are like 10.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And you've been working with us for a bit over a year, about a year and a half. When we first started, you guys were doing about 50K per year, right?
Yeah, we were doing like about 50 a month, like little to no profits. It was like some months we'd do like 80 or 90, then we'd drop back down to 50. We were overstaffed for the amount of customers we'd bring in, or we'd bring in way too many customers that ultimately our operations weren't streamlined enough to even be able to handle them. So that's why our revs would just go up and down all the time. And right. Sometimes we do a bit of profit. Sometimes we would lose money every single month. So, the first thing that you guys were actually able to do when you jumped into our business, and that's why I think like you guys stayed for so long with us, is you really allowed us to, first of all, have clarity on, what was going wrong in the business, number one. And as soon as we discovered that, I mean, you guys just took immediate action. You were like, okay, cool. We're going to streamline all processes and operations, which ultimately cut down our client fulfillment times by about like 3x, which made us super, super, super efficient. So we could take on more clients without necessarily needing more employees. Now, the second thing you guys did was, well, we cut down on staff. I mean, our payrolls at one point were like $70,000 a month, but we were barely cracking 80K in rev, right? So I mean, we would more often than not just lose money, right? And at some point, I mean, the company's expenses went up to like $90,000 or $100,000, and we were losing 20, 30, 40K a month, right? So the fact that you guys came in, cut down the staff, but still increase our production rate by 3x allowed us to ultimately make way more money and way more profit. It was a lifesaver.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, especially in your type of business, is just making sure the company has clarity on what they're doing. So starting off with building out a company brain for your entire production system, and then going on into automating the onboarding process, the project management. What are some of the systems specifically that you felt helped kind of speed up that whole process?
Three things. I think number one, and it's a simple one, but it was centralizing all client communications through Slack. Initially, we'd do everything through email, which is such a fucking boomer thing to do. But we would just communicate through email. Communication with clients would get lost. Our customer service was shit. And then once we centralized everything into Slack, I mean, customer satisfaction went up because we were able to actually answer them on time. Everyone was aware of what was going on in the company. So if someone couldn't answer, someone else could pick it up. So ultimately, I mean, clients were happier, but also we were way more efficient, right? Just better communication overall through the business, right? I'd say that was number one. Number two is also the fact that you brought in that company brain. Well, we kind of realized where our bottlenecks were, right? If you actually take the time to map it out, you can identify, okay, cool. We currently have an issue in copy, or hey, we currently have an issue in sales. We have an issue here. So by having that company brain, we could really see, okay, cool. Who's in charge of what? What are each and every single person's roles, and where are they overloaded with things, and where do they lack, right? And that allowed us really to completely revamp and restructure the staff and focus on what was important. So that really, those two things to us were very key.
I think, and I would agree with you 100%. I think one of the things that I feel like enabled you guys to really ramp up the client acquisition was creating a productized service. So you guys do a typical high ticket done for you service, and then we kind of span off that service into more productized, more McDonald's, more standardized service that really allowed you guys to do your work, which you're great at, which is bringing clients through the door.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we used to be able to bring on like one client a week, and we'd be like pretty much done. Like that week, we can bring on anyone else. Now, I mean, we ramped it up to being able to bring on 3, 4, 5 clients every single week without breaking a sweat. We could even do more, right? Sometimes it's the customer acquisition that just doesn't follow with the actual production that we have. So that was number one. Number two is that productized service actually acted as a great filter, because one of our issues is we just had one service. It was like, done for you, rev share, we take a cut, that's it. And they were longer term commitments. The thing is, well, I don't necessarily want to work with someone for 6 months without knowing how they work, right? And the agency guys out there are going to get me 100%. When you fall on a client that you don't necessarily enjoy working with, and then you're stuck with them for 6 months, kind of sucks. So that productize acted as a great filter to see, okay, cool, who do I see myself working with on a longer term partnership, right? And the final thing was that, well, the time to value was really shortened, right? Rather than us taking 1 or 2 months to deliver value to our clients, we could do it the same week that they signed and paid. So ultimately satisfaction rose up, we had way less churn, and our upsells were much higher too. So everything, like, it really aligned with where we're going, right?
Right. And in terms of, like, we solved a lot of operational, just like foundational problems that were present. And then on top of that, we layered, I would say, a layer of technology and automation coming from your onboarding process all the way to your production process, enabling a lot of your processes with AI to cut down the production time on a lot of things. Share me some experience around that.
Well, number one, we used to like kind of manage projects in Asana, but then afterwards, when you transitioned us to ClickUp, that's what we used. We really saw the full potential of actually leveraging tech and systems to ultimately, first of all, streamline a lot of our work, and when it came to like production, project management, and everything, so on top of deadlines, but also internal work. Just when it comes to recruiting, hiring, having boards that we can actually visualize and see, and just a lot of different automations that saved us a shit ton of time on the internal stuff that normally would just get pushed away, right? And we would just ignore it. So that really saved us a lot of time. Other things too, like just a streamlined customer onboarding process, like filled with automations, so that, like, let's say I close a client at 9 p.m. he's still, like, the whole process still triggers. I don't need staff to do it. So the customer gets instant invitations to Slack, instant onboarding forms that are sent out. It saves my staff a shit ton of time too. So, I mean, that really impacted the business a lot.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, man. I feel like right now we're in a good spot, and it's only, I think, a matter of months, probably quarters, until you guys are the leading player in this industry. You guys are already kind of the up and coming guys when it comes to the coaching industry. I say it's going to be in no time that you're the #1 player in this. And I'm glad we and the team at OpsKings was able to be a part of your growth, and we're going to continue to follow you and continue to empower you to scale until you guys are the #1 guys.
100%. With the foundations that you guys laid, we're confident we can go from 150 all the way up to $500,000 a month without breaking a sweat too much. So I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate the time, Charles.
Awesome, buddy. Take care.
Take care.